I don't know, bro. I'm in royalty.
I'm in awe at the moment.
Yeah.
Bro.
Who have we got, Riggs?
We got the dynamic duo, man. This is the Polynesian legends and goats of morning radio. We've got Nickson and Nate in the show. Let's go!
How do we...
Hey!
Guys, this is amazing. It's just to see you guys together is for me. It's awe. I'm in awe.
It's buzzy, man. It's buzzy to see you guys.
When's the last time you guys were together? Was it the podcast that you guys were or like on air?
We've been going to the gym together. We've been training. Don't know if you guys can see our shoulders. Obviously, wait till the video comes out. But
just give you from the shoulders up, man.
Yeah, shoulders up. But no, we've reconnected quite a bit over the last year.
It's so good to see. So let's get into this as well. When you guys started here at NiuFM, compared to like right now, how was it? Like how was it when you guys started compared to now?
Well, we didn't work in a flash building like this. So the glow up's been good for you guys. Yeah.
Very, very humble beginnings. I was just looking around at the setup here, and you guys got cameras.
Yeah.
I think back in the early 2000s, I think camcorders was a thing, so we couldn't actually record any cool interviews that we had or whatnot. And we were just talking about this before. You could still smoke in the studio. So I think it was 2004 where they banned smoking inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
So man, it was a different feeling where you could just do a voice break, look out the window, puff,
Smoke.
and then play a song.
And the desk wasn't this high too, eh? You could like sit back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. And you guys got the internet now. We had to like have newspaper cutouts. So yeah, it was like back then, way back.
Jeez, man. So your first year into NiuFM in the studio and that, what was one of the unique things that you guys learned on your first year?
Man, you got to be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, with the way NiuFM was, there's not many Pacific broadcasters or a pool that you can choose from. So the guy that could be cleaning out the fridge for promo, they'll be like, "Hey, bro, jump in."
Yeah.
And you're like, "What for?" And they're like, "Just say good morning." I was like, "Why?" Like, "Just hurry up." And then they turn on the mic and you're like, "Good morning."
And then the day after, you're the new breakfast host.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
So, yeah.
We just talked to DJ Al Goody, who came in, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I used to work sales." It's like, hey, I used to work sales, bro. I did a little bit at the reception. Is that how it was for you guys?
Man,
Tell everybody how you got your job. Nate's got the best journey of how he got his job. Yeah.
Well, I used to work at a place called Mondial, and I was just, when you pack stuff onto the pallet and you wrap it.
Yep.
So I was a divanner, like in a container, when I was much fitter back then. And a friend of mine, we were listening to Sela in the afternoons. Like, we just had it jamming in the background, and he called in to win a Nelly Sweat and Suit CD. And he won it. He was caller number 9. He was like, "Bro, let's go." I was like, let's go, pick it up. So we jumped in the car, went to town when I was where NiuFM was in Ponsonby at the time. And we still had our high-vis stuff on. So we went upstairs, and I still remember the girl's name. Her name was Rebecca. Remember Rebecca?
Yeah,
she was the receptionist. So she looks at me, she goes, "Are you here for the audition?" I was like, "Yeah." And then she goes, "Okay, well, just come sit over here." So I sat there. My mate went and got a CD, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Just wait." And then JD Victor walks out, who was the program director at the time. And he goes, "So you're here for the audition?" I was like, And he said, "This is going to be real brief. Just talk to me for a minute about something that you love without saying or ah." So I started talking about the Blues. I talked about their backline from the 1996 grand final. And the minute I was up, he goes, "That's awesome. Okay, cool. Well, just leave your details at the desk and we'll get in touch." Got out, had a laugh with my mate. We went back and we started doing our containers again. And then I got a call back and he said, "Hey, come back in, job's yours."
Yeah. See, be ready, guys. Yeah. Be ready.
You had a bit of a different approach, though. You went through the radio school thing, Nickson?
Nah, so I went to the same school as Oscar Kitely, obviously different era, but I had to do this like work experience thing, and he gave me a look in because I went to the same school as him. And so I went in every morning before school, used to go get the milk for him and Mario in the morning, and then I just was like an old couch, I just wouldn't leave. And then, then when they made Sione's wedding and all that sort of stuff, and when they started writing for Naked Samoans, I was still there. And then Mario taught me how to push the buttons, and I've pushed the buttons ever since.
Wow. Did you guys know that you wanted to do radio, or was that just something that just came about and that you just found a passion for it after that?
I think we just wanted to have fun, eh?
I just didn't want to pack containers.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Well, I did know that my dream job is to sit down. That's my honest to God truth. And everybody asked me like, what was it your dream to get in? I was like, nah, man. I just like I'm a heavy guy. My knees are sore. I just want to sit down all day. And they're like, well, perfect job.
Yeah. And then I met Nate because there used to be this youth show that was on in the afternoons called NiuFM Dreams. And
Nate just instantly went,
I mean, it wouldn't be a highlight in our career, to be honest. But I mean, just any opportunity to, have a laugh and spread a yarn. Man, I think I started that show first with a girl called, what was her name? Leisha. And then I left, and then Nate took over that gig, and then that was our common denominator of working that show.
It's funny because that was a show I didn't know I was auditioning for.
Yeah.
Because when I got the job, they came in and said, so what do you think about NiuFM Dreams? And I was like, I think it's really important for NiuFMs to have dreams. and they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, to have goals in life. And they're like,
yeah.
Do you know what the show is? I was like, what are you talking about?
oh my God.
Yeah. But no, that's we've had some fun times here, and it's a good station, and it kind of gave us our launch into the career that it's gifted us. So we've always got love and respect for NiuFM.
20 years into it, Nickson. Is it time that we start talking about this gospel show that you did, or no?
Yes.
Are we allowed to? Hey, why not? What a better time to talk about it? Eh?
Yeah, no, it was good. Everybody needs a bit of hopeful music on a Sunday, and some Bible verses read up.
Have you ever heard of anyone getting sacked from a
I just couldn't pull it off, man. I just couldn't pull it off. All I wanted to do was just play some like club music, but that doesn't go down well with the older elders that are listening on a Sunday.
So coming from other radio stations like mine and you, that's where you guys went into the caliber of guests. How did you guys have guests come through that you were like, wow, I can't believe they came through to New? Or was it like, wow?
No, well, the funny thing is when you debuted at the time, they were on par with NiuFM.
Yeah.
Like their market share was the same, and like everyone was like, what is this place? So when you would ask guests to come on, they would be like, yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of international guests come through, eh?
Yeah, hard out. But then like the more comfortable Nate and I got, like the less guests we had in because it was more work to prep for it. So yeah, remember when we did that thing where we got offered an interview and then we would just take it to air the next day and go, hey, does anybody listening want to hear this person or nah? And we'll just do a quick poll,
Just straight.
and then if they said nah, then we'll just be like, oh no, sorry, nobody wants to hear from you. So yeah.
Did you guys know that you guys had chemistry right from the jump? Or was that just something that just built between you two?
I'll let him answer that.
I actually, I was gonna give him a hiding.
I knew he was gonna say that.
Here's the tea.
So when I first started, this guy thought he was bad. He was there before me. So when I got there, he would walk around in this white tank top and cornrows.
Oh, wow.
So he had these cornrows, I don't know who he was trying to be, but he wouldn't talk to me. He was one of those guys.
I'm shy though.
Well, not if you're wearing a tank top around.
Cornrows.
That doesn't sound like
I was
shy.
compensating.
Yeah. And this girl that I was talking to at the time that worked there, and she was like, "Oh nah, he's busy. He's he does this and he does that." And I was like, "Oh man, he's a snob, eh?" He's like, yeah. And then I said to her, "You know what? I'm just gonna give him a hiding."
Harden me up.
Yeah. And then someone else found out, and then I got in trouble. So I got called into the office. I was like, "Were you planning on beating him up?" I was like, "Man, this not a hit." I was just gonna even talk to him because he looks like he's up himself. But we got through it. We got past it.
Every good Nate story starts off, I was just going to give him a hiding. Tell us about Justin Bieber and Aloe Black. It's the same thing.
Nah, that Aloe Black one, that will always go down as the worst interview me and Nate have ever done. Aloe Black, that dollar guy. He would never take off his sunglasses, and Nate asked him to take off his sunglasses, otherwise he's going to get a hiding.
It's always got to do with the hidings. It's great. I love it.
Send it straight
I love
to
it.
him,
man.
Runs it straight.
I love it when they bring their security, and then they try to walk around, and they're like, you're working with islanders, eh? Your security's not gonna do anything.
That's my usos, man.
But you and I never worked here together, eh? We never did a show together here. It was only afterwards. When I went to Maya, and then they were like, "Who do you want to do the show with?" And I was like, "I know the perfect guy."
Wow.
And then NiuFM set him up nicely for his journey on NiuFM. So
And moving on to that side, when you guys went to mine, was that hard to leave New, or was that?
yeah, because the Māoris didn't want us, eh? at the start?
It was hard. Like the hardest thing for me, because I love this place and I've been here for 8 years. The hardest thing for me was that I didn't get to leave on my terms. I got escorted out.
Yeah.
It was one of the hardest things, man. I remember it. It was Christmas 2009. We had Louis was there. So we were in this boardroom. I remember I sat down, and God bless whoever was involved at the time, but the management team, they promised me something. And then at the last minute, they said to me, hey, look, we can't give it to you. And I said, well, that's a shame because I got an offer somewhere else. And they said, what? I said, yeah, I'm going to take it because if you can't keep your word, then I'm out. And then I went to the meeting. We had a staff meeting and I sat down, and next thing you know, I get a knock at the door and the boardroom opens and all the announcers in there. I'm in there, Louis in there, Jan was in there. And I said, can you come out, please? And I said, what's up? And they're like, can you pack your things? We're going to escort you out of the building.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
That's what happens.
But I still love this place, man. Like,
It set you up for bigger things anyways. You end up playing for the bigger leagues over there in Mai for a while and the big things over there.
Nah, that was tough too when I went there.
Yeah.
Man, I still remember the first text I got. I was like, who's this? Where's Hayden Huddy was doing that drive show at the time on NiuFM, and then I remember I was like, who's this coconut? And I was second guessing myself. I was like, man, hey, what do I sound like?
But no, we came in at a time when it was going through some rough times, and so the bar was pretty low, and so we just wanted to create our own little thing and see if it popped, and did it for who we wanted to, like who we were trying to get to listen. So we just made a radio show for people that we wanted to associate ourselves with, and then it seemed to work.
Yeah, when we came on, we did a little stint in 3 weeks. 3 weeks, and both of you just like, as soon as it came out, both of you were just so like, wow, man, this is great for you guys, and you're just so supportive of us. And I remember the first thing I said on radio for when I was like, man, I'm feeling like Nickson right now. And Nickson texts me, he's like, stop saying my name on the radio.
I think my wife heard it first.
Oh yeah,
yeah, as well. And then, but no, proud of you guys, eh? You got everyone. This is the best thing about NiuFM, and we can vouch for this too, is this gave everybody like their start to do something that is fun and for the people. So
I want to talk about that a little bit. Like, what is in, and I don't want to say what's in the water, but NiuFM has nurtured these amazing personalities, you two and
Oscar,
Stella, Oscar, and it's it's there's something here, right? And I don't know, I can't put my thumb on it, but do you guys have any idea why? Is it just less pressure, or is it what?
To be honest, for me, I think this is just me.
Yeah.
But I think any Māori Pacific Islander can do this job. I think all it is habit and practice and just having an opportunity. That's it. I'll hang out with a bunch of people and sit there and watch them talk and watch them tell a story, and I'm like, man, we got it. Like, when you're growing up, you don't have hobbies like, Dad, are you taking me horse riding today? It's like, no, you're sitting in a 2-bedroom flat with all your siblings, all your cousins, and everyone's taking a turn sitting there and telling a story. I think everyone can do it. It's just having a chance.
Our people are like the best storytellers, I reckon. Like they can tell a great story, and I think that's the magic for radio, is to be able to tell a good story.
It's the orator, like we're orators, that's how our myths and legends are still, living on in Disney and all those things.
Yeah, you should see us in court, man.
Settle down, mate.
Whoa.
Holy heck.
Oh man, so like podcasts and Spotify, that wasn't a thing, during the time that you guys were on your way up. What was the vibes like here? Was you got a lot of listenership, like a lot of people texting in, a lot of people calling in back then, or?
Yeah.
It was crazy. Because the phone lines, not many people were texting at the time, because I think it was like 99 cents to text in. But to ring in, and then people on the street, people that you meet, just because there's no social media, so you'll go to these events like Pacifica or Polyfest, and you're like, man, do you feel like Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then back in the day too, you know, like free CDs, you know, like that sort of stuff. You know, that always attracted people. You're never short of people wanting free stuff. So yeah.
So being on still on the radio and on that mainstream as well, Nickson, have you noticed like the difference between when you were here and what it was like with listenership, with like with Regan, with Spotify and things, and is it still growing? Is radio still a thing that's growing, do you feel?
Yeah, I still do think that there's a place for radio. Yeah, but I've always lived by the thought that it's not Spotify, it's not, I mean, there's heaps of distractions now. It's not Spotify, it's not just Spotify, Apple Music, Fortnite, Netflix. I think that like the biggest thing for us is to keep in mind that your biggest competition is people's time and attention. That's your biggest competition because of so much happening right now. And that's where the stories that Nate was talking about before, when you can tell a good story and you feel engaged and people can interact with it. You can't do that on a podcast. Like, you can enjoy it and it's entertainment, but you can't interact with it. And I think that's where the special part of, especially breakfast radio, because that's really all I've done, is that's where the magic is, when you can get people feeling a kind of certain way, get that emotion happening.
You've been in the game, or both of you guys have been in the game for a long time doing breakfast radio. What's it like getting up in the mornings, like, because we just starting up, man, so is that hard for you guys? I mean,
we're built different, eh? We don't really sleep, eh?
I feel like this is a loaded question for my bro Nate right here.
That's what I felt like.
I mean, yeah, you did sleep in a lot.
It's sad because the running joke became, is Nate going to show up to work today?
Wow, that's interesting. That's an interesting thing, because it's the same thing with this guy.
Oh, work for him. Yeah, we made it into a game when we were doing my morning crew together. It was like, okay, 0800 the edge. 0800.
Hold on, whoa.
Sorry, I've had to train myself to change. But it was always like, place your bets now, exact time wins, and then But then we thought it was funny. DJ Sevilla did it.
We're going to carry that on.
Yeah.
We're going to carry that legacy on.
Well, it's tough, man, especially if you've got a family. Because they say, you got to go to sleep early. But like, if you got kids, you want to give them time. And then they're like, after the show, we need you to go do this and that. We need you to go do a promo or whatever. So everybody thinks you're just there for 4 hours, but you got to go and commit to all those responsibilities.
A lot of people don't realize. Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that, right? It's not just to show up, you finish at 10 o'clock. There's other things that go on too.
Yeah, and then constantly in the afternoon, you're being observational to things that are happening, and it's like, how can I make that radio? How can I make that radio? So that's why sometimes I'm in awe of this guy, that he doesn't have to do that anymore.
I didn't do it then. I'm grateful for Nickson, because he's a machine, and we're laughing about it now, but we've had some mean arguments over the years. I've had some mean telling offs, and the thing I appreciate about this guy, he'll never tell me off in front of people. Like, we'll sit there, and I remember we were in a meeting with a big boss, and he was just like trying to golf at me, and this guy stood like pretty much in front of us and said, "Look, this is my fault." And then in my head I was like, "Yeah, take the blame, buddy." And then we walked out, and then we went out the front of the building, and he just unloaded. I was like, "What the?" And just went off at me. He's like, "Do you still want to do this?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know." But then he'd always pull my head back in the game, and he's never changed. So.
Yeah, but hopefully one day we can do it again. Not the telling offs, just be back on radio together again and having fun.
How great would that be, man? So yeah, I've got a couple of photos here, and we just want to go through the memory banks. Just tell us what this photo is about, and just if you can remember what the time was of this photo. Okay,
I don't have any photos here.
We got one photo here with.
Okay.
We got one here.
What is going on with that hairline?
So Sela Alo and Nate with the hairline is playing up.
Yeah.
And then you're covering your mouth.
I think we were having a team meeting at the time. And I don't know what I was doing. That's
Man's hiding himself, bro.
Delete that.
It's like one of those bad breath ones, eh? And you're trying to cover it.
I've got another one here of Nickson. What's going on here, bro?
Okay, there's a lot going wrong in that. That's a JJ sweater. I don't know what that shirt is. But that photo, I can honestly tell you exactly what that photo was for. That was because we had no money back then at NiuFM to do a proper photo shoot. So that was used as the show photo profile.
Wow.
So we took that on a Sharp GX10 phone that Nate's ex-girlfriend took. And that was used as the promo photo on the website.
That came out really nice, eh? Like the photo quality.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it now.
yeah.
Really
From
cool.
GX10, that's really good.
GX10.
We got another photo. It's of Nate this time. What's going on here, bro?
I think I was just looking at the screen trying to figure out what to do, man.
When's the next smoker? When's the next smoker?
Like those photos are cracker because they're like, look like you're doing something, you know. Like,
I am.
Playing the pinball machine on the old ones.
Man's playing solitaire on the.
Minesweeper.
that was when I used to do a kids show on a Sunday morning.
That's right.
So we
Wow,
got
what?
Yeah.
Hold up. A
Yeah.
kids show.
man, we were running out of announcers.
Yeah.
And they said, look, we applied for this funding. We need a kids show, otherwise we've got to get the money back. And I was like, oh man. And I remember I was hungover for the night before. We had a NiuFM work party. And I come in, and this is how I used to talk. The show was called Coco Kids.
Okay, let's get It's Coco Kids with Nate.
Let's go.
No, my name was Coco.
Oh, sorry. It's Coco Kids with Coco. Let's go to Coco.
Talofa Mikey! How are you on this Sunday morning?
I remember that so clearly. I remember driving to Avondale Market listening to that in the morning. Oh, no.
Because they put me on the spot. They said the show. So I was never done a kids show before. Did no prep.
Yeah.
All I had was the newspaper in front of me, and I was like, "What happened? What happened?" Okay, the All Blacks beat the Wallabies. What a time!
How long did the show go on for? Like
3 months.
Oh, God.
Sound like the Samoan Macho Man, bro.
Coco was on, bro.
Coco.
We need to bring that show back.
Let's bring it back, bro.
Yeah.
We had the best is when the parents would get their kids to ring up, and then they'll like call and like, "Hello." And they're like, "Oh, hello, Coco," and you can hear the dad in the background say, "It's Nate. Just say, hey, Nate."
So good. That is so good. Oh,
Man, this place was rough, man. I'm glad where it is now. This is awesome.
We're just so thankful, thankful for the paths that you have, the trails you've blazed
Definitely.
for people like us, and for your I always remember when we first got it and just how proud you guys were of us, and I just wanted to make sure that we get that out again. So thank you guys so much for everything that you've done for NiuFM and for people like me and Regan.
Definitely, man. Before we leave you off, man, we've only just begun our radio journey and our breakfast host journey as well. What's some advice you could give to little guys like us, man? What's some advice from the goats, bro? We need to know.
To be honest, it's funny. I look at you guys and I think where you guys are right now compared to where we were in that length of time, you guys don't need any advice from anyone.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are killing it. Don't change for anyone. Sometimes the hardest things to say are the right things to say. And whatever scares you the most at whatever time, that's the point to jump.
Yeah.
Love that, bro. Nickson, bro.
Oh, you should have let me go. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was heavy. Nah, I think I don't know about your family setups, but like my one thing that I always tell myself, like just before I turn on the mic every morning, is don't embarrass your mum or your wife. So if that helps you.
You should have told me that. You should have told me that ages ago.
Stuff that up on day one already. Damn.
But remember, it's not brain surgery, man. It's radio. Just make it fun. Make it fun. Yeah.